the members of the Board of Trustees of Silliman University, represented here on stage by the chair, Mr. Ricardo A. Balbido, Jr., and the corporate secretary, Attorney FEMA Cristina P. Saison. The Philippine Secretary of Education, Madame Leonor Briones, the Regional Director of the Commission of Higher Education, Dr. Freddie T. Bernal, the Executive Vice President of the United Board for Christian Higher Education in Asia, Mr. Ricky M. Cheng, the General Secretary of the Association of Christian Universities and Colleges in Asia, Reverend Dr. Esther Pauline Wakeman, colleagues in the administration, members of the faculty and staff, my dear students, Silliman alumni from here and abroad, partners and friends from various sectors of the wider community, fellow administrators in higher education, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It has only been 2 months, 3 weeks, and 4 days since I assumed office on June 1, 2018. I stand here before you in awe and reverence to the collective, dedicated service rendered by 3 American presidents, followed by 9 Filipino presidents, over a total span of 117 years. So yes, the pressure is on me. Today, Silliman University, at 117, the spirit of service lives on. My vision for Silliman University, Via Veritas Vita, for the nation, Asia, and the rest of the world. My mission for Silliman University, build up whole person education in the university's teaching and non-teaching programs and services. Align program strategies to frame the university's mission-driven goals of teaching, research, and service with immediate societal concerns such as environment and climate change. Pursue active partnerships with various sectors, students, alumni, church and mission boards, government and non-government agencies, and the wider community to advance the university's goals. Interpret and articulate board mandates to internal and external publics to promote the general welfare of this, our institution, and ensure that the university leadership and operation observe the integrity of purpose, sound fiscal management, and financial viability. There are phenomena in the global and regional arena that could propel programs and actions in the academe. The Sustainable Development Goals are a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity. Declared in 2015, the global goals have specific targets to be achieved over the next 15 years. Number 4 of the 17 global goals of the United Nations is quality education. The ASEAN Work Plan 2016 to 2020 opens opportunities for higher education in the region to work together in finding appropriate ways to meet collective national agenda and to foster harmony and equity among societies in Asia. Currently, higher education initiatives are generally couched in the economic activities related to educational trade and services. There is, as well, preoccupation with the league tables or university rankings around the world, but these should not take ascendancy over the institution's vision and mission that meet specific contexts or modify university strategies in order simply to improve position in the rankings or be in the rankings game without due regard to the rationale and goals set forth by the founders of this institution. Certainly, Silliman University is poised to respond creatively and critically to these regional and global mandates. Given the global and regional demands in education and the prospects within Silliman University, I say that the university could re-energize its role in Philippine higher education in Asia and beyond by aggressively and progressively positioning itself as a champion for the environment. This will set a coherent framework for all the environmental initiatives in practically all aspects of the university programs, centers, and services. Program strategies across units can be aligned to maximize utilization of people's time, effort, and resources in the pursuit of environmental actions. This will also allow for a clear articulation of environmental education and outreach across all disciplines and professional courses, such as in medicine, architectural design, law, health services, engineering, social sciences, performing and visual arts, and several other programs that we offer. Silliman University's extension activities in Ticao Island, Pamplona Farm, Silliman Farm can serve as showcases of environmental measures as we pursue agricultural production. We have departments and institutes within the university that lend themselves naturally to environmental efforts, such as biology, chemistry, physics, nursing, medicine, environment and marine studies, research and environmental management units, tropical studies, and several more. Support units and services responsible for our physical infrastructure and maintenance, our campus layout, food services, and hospital care can also play their part to enhance and enrich our environmental focus. It is never enough to emphasize the role of Silliman University in promoting environmental integrity and stewardship for the sustainability of our planet Earth. This is a Christian declaration of the university's unqualified stand on the care for the environment. About 8 weeks ago, when we opened the semester, we launched the advocacy for zero waste management, and we are setting up targets to progress. This requires the participation of all sectors within the campus and collaboration with the city and barangays in this effort. More efforts are underway by engaging curriculum mapping so that we get a total picture of our initiatives in environmental education and training from basic education to graduate levels. Another is promoting research and community outreach activities that advance our environmental agenda. Third, disseminating and sharing practices, our best practices in teaching, research, and community service related to the environment. Another programmatic approach is to elevate whole person education in the university's teaching and non-teaching programs and services. Education for total human development should be sustained as an educational framework. Dr. Merton Munn, known as the architect of general education here at Silliman University, who served between 1957 to 65, observed, and I quote, "General education should be representative of the common experience of all students in this university." Carrying this definition further, we are confronted with such outcomes as ability to communicate effectively, knowledge of the world of nature and man and woman, imaginative and creative ability, judgment and discrimination, well-informed personality, balance and perspective, logical and independent thought, concern for the betterment of the less fortunate, knowledge of the historical and cultural contributions of peoples of our world. One could go on to show that the program has more to it than subject matter outcomes. It points up the importance of how a teacher teaches, as well as what he and she teaches. It points towards the necessity of training the whole person. I see whole person education as one that promotes multidisciplinarity, inclusiveness, self-direction, and social responsibility. In fact, the general education curriculum, as mandated by the Commission of Higher Education, fortifies our institutional commitment to total human development for the well-being of society and environment. You may ask, where is multidisciplinarity in whole person education? Subscribing to the concept that education is life necessarily entails that our teaching and learning must go beyond the narrow confines of our individual disciplines. The more collaboration we have with other fields or disciplines, the better we are at approximating the truths we are searching. Promoting multidisciplinarity, linkages, and networks among faculty, staff, and students, as well as interactions between and among academic units and divisions, does not only build skills, but also establish fellowship, harmony among one another. And what about inclusiveness in whole person education? With liberal arts education, we as an institution provide an atmosphere of inclusion more than exclusion. People of all creeds, people coming from different countries, personal and political orientations, people with different work backgrounds and socioeconomic levels can all be a part of a community of learning. The multiple sources of learning here at Silliman that we identify to be the classroom, our athletic grounds, our church, our cultural center, the community in general. All these allow for various perspectives and learning applications that help realize the educational aspirations of all who enter the gates of Silliman. As to whole person education and self-direction with social responsibility, we must realize that higher education institutions have their own goals and purposes, but these must also commit towards wider social responsibility. Excellence in programs and services provided to students is not an end of itself. It is hoped that the education attained becomes an instrument for a higher purpose, like doing service to others, to improve communities and meet national development agenda. And this is where we see the value of having a methodology known as service learning. A third programmatic strategy is to proactively cultivate partnerships. Silliman University, we are reminded time and again that the university is 117 years old. And over the years, the university has amassed significant human, social, political, and cultural capital that could be tapped to be our program partners to advance the goals of the university. Program partnerships, however, require clear programmatic framework and goals, interlocking functions of research and community service with teaching and compelling institutional agenda coupled with key educational messages. Silliman University could pursue active partnerships with various sectors, again, the students, alumni, church and mission boards, government and non-government agencies, and the wider community. And these can be academic in nature, socio-civic, professional, and others, to advance university program goals anchored on institutional vision and guided by accreditation requirements as well as regional and global mandates in higher education. Alliances and help giving can be for such programs or projects such as full student scholarships, including room and board, and this will allow for wider access to Silliman education and ensure that those who are academically deserving but economically challenged can complete their education. Faculty and staff development programs to upgrade human skills and qualifications to meet the standards of the education industry. Faculty and staff mobility or visiting professorships, as well as student mobility and exchange to bring about a geographic mix and multicultural perspectives in our learning community. Partnerships in environmental care projects with government and non-government agencies and other sectors of the society. Tie-up with industry partners, government units, alumni and friends here and abroad on key development projects such as the modernization of the university library, setting up of an environmental learning resource center, finalizing the Eco Park at Silliman Beach, and a convention facility where there can be meeting of minds, not just here in our city, but in the nation and the rest of the globe. We can also have a tie-up on selected technical vocational programs for those who may not decide to go into college, but would like to have workable skills for employment. For example, our own technical and educational programs can also provide training for the many Filipinos who work abroad so that they can get the needed certification from the Philippine Overseas Employment Agency, but the kind of training that is relevant to the kind of work that they will be going to abroad. Cultivate partnerships with other educational institutions, local, national, regional, international, to widen Silliman's reach and relevance. To steer these outlined directions, our development office and the lead is taking the lead, and a director of strategic partnerships is now in place. I call for breaking down silos in higher education. We often say that higher education has three pillars: the functions of teaching, research, and community service. Yet, those pillars are viewed as individual silos with little chance of integration due to the way we structure a college or university and the way members of a learning community approach these functions. There has to be a break from a tendency to look at teaching as a silo separate or dissociated from the silos of research and service. What could be a significant step now is to actively build the interconnections among the three functions by seeking answers to the questions such as, how can teaching be enhanced by research and service? How can service gain value from teaching and research? How can research enrich teaching and practice. There are integrative approaches to teaching that can incorporate the functions of research and service that this university can actively pursue. In the academic division, steps are being taken to get this going. In a globalizing higher education, a university is expected to contribute to the body of knowledge through research and service. A university, as we all know, must be a producer of knowledge, not simply a consumer of knowledge. Silliman University, therefore, must embark on restructuring and retooling its faculty and staff to achieve some level of integration in the teaching, research, and service functions of its human resource. Reskilling for education in the 21st century entails active promotion of digital and information technology tools in teaching and learning. Coding and other learning management systems must be pursued as early as in our basic education classes. Again, in the academic division, steps are undertaken to get this going. And now, for some concluding and reiterative notes. In keeping with the nature of a university, I will adopt a rational, empirical approach and empower the constituencies, students, alumni, faculty, staff, to become their own agencies for change. I will safeguard and strengthen the integrity of university procedures and processes. I am duty-bound to ensure that the university leadership and operation observe sound fiscal management and financial stability by demanding transparency at all levels of operation. Our finance and administrative division will take the lead in this regard. Leadership in the university is service beyond measure. As the baton of university leadership is handed over to this current administration, one must be truly cognizant of the legacies of previous administrations and to honor the positive outcomes of hard work by ensuring that programs with impact are sustained over time. We can only contribute to global education if our programs and services meet the standards of the educational industry. One strategic approach to widening our reach is to build programmatic partnerships with local and regional colleges and universities and connecting with our partners, other partners outside the region. For example, forging a partnership in the area of nutrition with a university in Indonesia will connect us to that university's partners in Netherlands and Australia. In the same token, an institution in India that will establish academic partnership with us on tropical diseases will provide us access to that India's institution's partners in the United States. This is an approach that is Asian in outlook, but looks beyond for global reach. Partnerships among institutions within our easy reach can serve as building blocks for forging regional cooperation and eventually reaching out for global cooperation. Programs, people, partnerships. These are to be viewed as interrelated systems in our institutional needs analysis, planning, implementation, and periodic assessment. Whatever is the entry point, say, a new opportunity to offer intensive English program for students from Japan will bring about renewed enthusiasm among our people, our faculty, in the review, updates, and delivery of their teaching modules. And this university partnership in Japan will broaden and widen our reach and bring about active understanding of the ways and practices of a highly developed neighbor in Asia. Or take another possible collaboration with a medical army institute in Egypt that is interested in availing of the talent and skills of our people in the Faculty of Nursing to train Egypt's students in nursing. This leads us to look closely into the cost-benefit analyses of partnerships and the absorptive capacity of our people and programs. Or bringing it closer to home, take the case of retooling our own office staff in information and digital technology. The entry point is the reskilling of people, and this required developing a training program by the College of Computer Studies and partnering with our Human Resource Development Office. Our advocacy for zero waste management is a combination of programs, both academic and support services. People like students, faculty, staff, partnerships with government and non-government agencies, including community-based organizations. This way, I see a clear trajectory for the vision Via Veritas Vita for the nation, Asia, and the rest of the world. I call upon all of us who wear our Silliman heart up our sleeve to join me in taking a Presbyterian oath to serve our dear alma mater with energy, intelligence, imagination, and love. The commission is upon us. Matthew 5:16. Let your light so shine before men and women that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Silliman by the sea. Sail on, Silliman University. Thank you.